Hi, I'm Allison Prior, and I teach acrylic paintings for beginners and all levels. And today what I want to do is give away this cute little Bob Ross t-shirt. Isn't that cute? And I would like to give one of those away as soon as I get, I'd say 500 likes on this video that you're watching now. So if I can get 500 likes, and when you press like, put your name there and say, I pressed like, or I gave you a like. And that way then I can put your name in a hat and I can give you this cute little Bob Ross t-shirt. So let's get lots of likes and let's have lots of fun and let's get started painting. All right. So I'm just going to use some Artist Loft gesso and just want to paint over a painting I did. I'm going to use a little roller pan. I just want to show you how easy it is to go over some of your paintings that you don't like. And the gesso is really nice and thick, so you get to cover everything up. You might get away with one coat. Sometimes we have to do two. Now I'm going to add some white paint. And I'm going to put that over what I just did. So I'm going to make a background. So this will thicken it up. This will be my underpainting for my background color I'm going to use for my sky. Alright, so I'm doing this to keep it wet also. I love being surrounded by my art supplies, so sometimes I have to move things out of the way so I won't get them full of paint. So now I have that. Now, here's what else I'm going to do. Because this painting that we're going to do needs an all blue background, I am just going to add some of my blue. A dark blue, a light blue, ultramarine blue, whatever blue you have there, doesn't matter, because it's going to be pretty light when it goes on here. So, just going to mash that in there and watch. So now I can paint the whole background blue because it's all wet. The gesso is still wet. White paint is still wet, and now I can put on this blue color and I'll have my blue background and I have a little bit of texture in it too, which is nice. I like that because you don't always have to have, even though it's going to be sky and water, it's still nice to have texture. There's going to be a lot of trees and a bridge. So you kind of want some of that white to come through. Okay. And we have to make adjustments after, we will. But this will be our background. Alright? This is going to be our background. See how nice it is? So that's all we need now for our background. Now our background is done. Now, if you have a blank canvas, you can put on white first and then put your blue on, as long as it's wet, okay? That way it'll all... We won't use magic white today. We could use magic white, but I don't want my canvas to be wet too long, because I don't want all the colors to blend. Magic white is great for blending colors, but right now I just want to put my background on and let it dry. And then we will get started on our Over the Bridge acrylic painting. Now, see how, if you have an old painting that you want to go paint over, that's the way you can do it. And it will be, that way you don't have to waste your paint or your canvas. And this is easy, 16 by 20 canvas. And you're not wasting too much paint or too much of anything. You want to use a little bit of gesso, you want to use a little bit of white paint and some blue paint. Now we have our blue background. And that'll be our sky and our water all in one, and we'll put everything on top of that, and then we'll have a beautiful painting. Simple as pie. So the brushes I'm going to use today, I'm just going to use my bristle brush. It's I'm going to use my bristle brush, which is a number 12, but you can use whatever sizes you have, but you want to make sure that it's big enough to go on your canvas. So 1/2 inch, we'll say 1/2 inch or somewhere close to that. And same with your flat brush, your flat synthetic brush. See the difference? And I also have a small one in case I need a small flat brush and a liner brush. Okay, so that's that for now, but I might end up using some other brushes. I always keep things on a handy, like fan brush or palette knife. You know, just whatever you have of supplies, just keep them handy just in case we might use something else, okay? And the colors you need are, you don't need these, you can use whatever colors you want, okay? But I'm using my bright red and Naples yellow and primary yellow and ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. Now you can use any yellow. I picked 2 yellows because I think sometimes you have to kind of play around with your yellows because you have so many different yellows in the trees and things. So if you've got a couple of different yellows there, I'll put them on my palette if I were you. That might help. And same with any of your colors. Sometimes you can add a little, you know, some different reds, and this one's a burnt sienna. I love burnt sienna. It's great for the trunks of trees and everything. So, and I got some white, okay? You can also add black if you want to, and you might want a piece of chalk. Maybe we'll draw a bridge. And I think that's about it. In your paper towels and some water, and you should be good to go. All right, here we go. So I think that should do it, a little over halfway. So try to figure out where halfway is, and then come up a little bit over halfway. Good. That should do it. If we make a mistake, we'll fix it, I'm sure. All right, let's get started on the trees. So take your brush, your bristle brush, and if you got to, like I like to spread open. See, I like to spread them open like that. That way all these will give you nice leaves for your trees. Now we're not going to put any branches there yet. What we're going to do is we're going to do just the branches first. Just the leaves, okay? Just the leaves at first. We'll put in the branches after. This might make it a little easier for you. And you can use your different color yellows. All right, so you got a little bit of your darker yellow at first and a little bit of burnt sienna just to give it some shadow color with it, okay? And then we decide where we want our bushes, our trees, our leaves. So we got some nice leaves going. So tap gently, okay? Gently. And I will be sending you the reference photo so you can have an idea where you want to lay out. I'm not always good with following reference photos. I just like to use them to give me some ideas. And it's a big help. Reference photos are a very big help, but I don't want to be married to it, as somebody said one time before. I don't want to be married to the reference photos. So I like to use that and then just add things and try to use the reference photo for sort of colors, but I don't want to be exactly the same color. Add a little bit of blue to that to green it up a little bit. Just playing around color now, so we can always change it after. So let's just get this much done first. I'll make a little bit of a cluster here, little family of. And as we come down, we're going to add maybe a little bit of red. Okay, just adding little colors as we come along. And that way you can just add color instead of trying to mix new colors. Okay, a little bit of red, a little bit of green fell in there. Okay. And then we're going to do that. And then we're going to add our bridge after we put a few clusters of trees in, okay? So I'm just adding some of this. And I like to add some green. Probably some dark green. Just mix some of the blue with the yellow. Or if you got your own green there, like sap green, yeah, add that. Just dip into it. So we're going to come down here as far as our... There we go. Ah, it's bouncy, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, just keep going. A bit of bouncing going on there. But see how I'm letting some of the colors come off my brush. See how I didn't mix them and I got color everywhere all over my brush? And that's a good thing because now you can see as I touch, those yellows are coming off that brush besides the green. Look at that. That's just a matter of practice, okay? And these are little happy little accidents. Yeah, happy little accidents. Come over here and just punch on some of this. We have to decide how far over. If we need more after, we can do it, but right now just have fun with it. Like Bob Ross says, no mistakes, just happy accidents. And that's what we're doing today. Don't forget, now you're going to have a chance to win one of these t-shirts. All right, don't forget to like and leave your name so I'll know that you liked and that I can put your name in the hat. All right. So we're going to be very gentle with adding these colors right now because if we want to add more, we will later. Okay, but I want to get something started because I'm not really sure where I want everything to go. So I'm just adding some dark greens and some light greens and some reds. Just kind of tapping them on there. Okay, might get in a little bit of burnt sienna. I'm trying to leave some openings, just tapping a little bit here and there, okay? Like I said, we will worry about the rest later. So I'm going to add a bit of burnt sienna to my yellow and see where that goes. Some of that goes here, anywhere here, just anywhere that, okay? If your brush is giving you a hard time, change your brush or take it and smash it. Smash it so it opens up again, okay? Sometimes it gets full of paint and then it doesn't know what to do. It's all over the place. So it's open again there now. I'm going to tap into some of my lighter yellow. See a little bit. I just put a little, see, that much. Just a little bit. And see, because I opened it up, how nice those little yellow ones came out. Isn't that pretty? See, simple little ones like that. They're lighter. If you want to add a few of those, just tap in very gently, just tap it off if it's too much. Just get a little bit on top of your brush, look. See that? And you can put them wherever you want. Those little extra bright ones. There we go. Now we'll start on the other side also. So we're just going to put some trees over there. Alright, same deal. So this time we'll start off with some green. Okay. Start off with some green. This is a nice tree so far. Look at that. So your brush will do all the work for you. See that? See your brush? See my brush? It's just a bristle brush. And it's a nice long handle, so I don't have to be on top of it, but I kind of like, see, I can work far away from it, see? And because I got some yellow and some green underneath, and I'm not tapping it in totally, I can get some of the darker greens. And all right, so tap, 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 tap away. Keep tapping, and don't push too hard, because if you do, you're only going to get blobs. If you notice that you're getting blobs, then that's because you're pushing too hard. I'm going to add a little bit of red to this now. See, those colors are so nice. Good. Get more red if you got to. Just tapping the red into the green and the yellows. All right, maybe a little bit of burnt sienna, but I'm not mixing it totally together, see? All right. Nice colors. Good. Just kind of overlapping that one there. And we will put some dark green on this time. Just adding my blue or sap green, whatever color you got there. And just darken that up a bit there. Nice. See how simple it is? Like the picture itself might look, it might look hard, and if you, it can be hard, but I love to simplify things. Now this is my style, but you might have a different style. You might want to do something different, and if you do, go right ahead. I'm going to add just only yellow to this one this time. I'm going to tap it off a little bit because I had too much there, and I'm going to tap on some yellows right here. I'm going to get some of that lighter yellow there too. Right? I might have to spread out my brush in a minute. So, because I'm getting kind of, it's getting kind of muddy look, not muddy, but it won't separate as much. See that? See how it's kind of blobby looking? So because my brush is messed up, I am going to wipe it off, and I'm going to tap, and I'm going to spread it out. See that? Isn't that nice? Now I'm going to go just tap into a little bit of yellow. That nice bright one, and only a little bit, see? And now I'll get those nice little dots. See that? It's magic. So if you know, your little tips and tricks, you'll be able to know that will help you. Good. See? So your brush will do all the work for you if you work with your brush, if you add the paint onto it correctly, or if you make sure your brush is spread open so you can get these nice little dots of color. Okay, so there we go. Nice colors, aren't they? Okay, we'll just leave it at that for now. So now we need to go across here some smaller bushes. So I'm just going to go into my yellow and green, just yellows and greens, and then I'm just going to tap my way across here, just up and down, just a little, maybe turn my brush a little bit, just so I can get some idea that there might be some trees back here. This is going to be under the bridge, see? Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of a darker green there so it'll stand out more. There we go. And darken it up a little bit if you think you need to darken it up. A little bit of burnt sienna, there we go, that's nice and dark. I don't want it too dark, but I do want to get a little bit of contrast there. I'm coming down and see, look, I'm tapping on my tape, and just a little bit is going to jump up there because I don't want too much. That's really dark, so I'm going to wipe that off. Okay, and then I'm going to tap at it so that it goes into my other trees that I had there. See, and I have it all opened up. I'm just going to tap that right up again. Tap over it again. That way I won't get blobs and blobs of paint. See? So hopefully all these little tips and tricks will help you. That's nice, isn't it? And now I'm going to clean my brush off again, and I'm going to I never even dipped it in water. I'm just kind of rubbing it off my tissue, and that will help. And then I'm going, because that'll help me spread open these, see? Okay. So, see, that's nice and spread open. And then I'm going to tap into my yellow. And I think I had too much, so there we go. And now I want to add some of those up here, like this. There we go. Good. Now let's get some more on there. Nice. Good. I think that's enough for now, just to get it started, because I think what we need to do is get that bridge going soon. And I have to take the tape off so we can put some reflections and things around. So let's keep it going. So let's just take our tape off. Sometimes you're not sure what to do next. But you have to do something, right? And even if you make a mistake, you say, well, I shouldn't have took the tape off yet. You can either put it back on or you can correct it in some way. But I took it off because I want to start adding some reflections. And there we go. So we have to decide where the bridge is going to end. So the bridge is going to come probably up here like this here, and then it'll come down and there'll be land here. So I'm thinking I'm just going to take guess with my chalk that the bridge ends here, okay? So because I'm just looking to see where that might end, and it looks like it's around here somewhere. Now I'm going to dry this. Make sure it's all dry before you start putting your chalk on. Now the beauty of this bridge is that if you make your bridge and you don't make it perfectly perfect, then we're going to have lots of trees and bushes in front of the bridge on the sides down here, and that way if it's off a little bit, at least you can cover it up. So I'm going to guess that it's probably down here, I hope. And then it comes down here, and then it comes over here. All right, so it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect, but it would be nice to be nice, right? So let's just take it and come down here like that. Okay, good. And then of course we're going to have that round. So the round part of the bridge, we're going to go from here, and we have to decide if you want to see those trees. So the bridge is about that big. All right, so we'll just move it up here like this. Come over to meet that, and then come over and come down. All right, so now it's only drawn out, so don't worry too much, because when we paint it in, we can fix anything that needs to be fixed, okay? So hopefully you can see that. Might need to round it up a little bit up there. That's the beauty of using chalk. See? You can always fix it, right? Maybe. And the paint will take care of that, or you can wipe it off with a damp cloth, okay? So hopefully you can see it. All right. Right. Good. So I think you can see that. Good. So what I'm going to do to make this easy for everybody is I'm going to paint that bridge gray. Okay, so I'm going to make my own gray. Now you can take black with a bit of white, all right? But I'm going to show you how to make gray. So there's my gray, all right? And I'm going to lighten it up more. But what I did was I took blue, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, put two of them together, and then I added white. And you got a really nice gray. All different color grays are beautiful. So now, because that's a bit dark, I want it brighter than that. I'm going to add more white to it. Nice. Now, I'm going to come over here because I want to lighten it up a bit more. There we go. Because I keep adding it to that, I'll be just adding and adding and adding. If I need extra there, I'll take it. Okay? That way you'll save on paint instead of continuously mixing. So just put that in there like that. Let's just see how easy, you know, instead of being complicated, we'll make it easy. Just a gray color. Like I said, you can use black and white, or you can mix your own gray. See, it's so nice to know how to mix your own colors. Because that way, if you don't have any black left, or all you need are your primary colors, and you can have any color you want, all right? That's all you need is your primary colors. Now I'm going to get some green and darken it up. I want a nice dark green. And underneath here, there's a bit of land. Okay, so you can bring that bit of land around here like this. All right. Let's just get the little basics done first, and we can make sure that we get everything done at the end. Right now we need to focus on shapes, okay? You're focusing on shapes and layout, composition. All right, piece of land here, coming out like this, and this. The land on the other side is a little bit different. Now we're going by the reference photo, and I say that I don't always follow the reference photo, but I kind of like this. It comes right out, right here. I like that. And it goes back a little bit more here, and I think it comes down to about here. So know where to stop. That's nice. Yeah, there we go. That's it. All right, so put the land there. Try to get it a bit dark. There we go. Okay. And we have a couple little things going on there. It looks like some boats there. There's some, we'll see. Right, I'm not sure what I want to put in there for sure yet. But I'm just going to make that come out here like this. So it points right here, and then it goes back. All right. That's the bit of land that's there. And this bit of land over here is a little bit different. Good. So I'm just going to measure, to get the reflection of that, I'm going to measure that down to the bottom right here of the bridge. And then I'm going to mark that a little bit with some water or something. And then I'm going to take that, and it comes down to about here. So now we got to get that to come down and up. Now this needs to be rounded off a bit more. I think I will round it off a little bit more. I'm going to darken that up with some red and blue and burnt, and get that a really deep dark color, just so I can round it out a bit better. So So I'm just having some fun, just spreading it around. There we go, get some texture and some shadows. We'll be going over with some brickwork and things like that. All right, and we will get some more dark color. Let's see if we can get this even more round. Right. Now if you want to blow up the picture and draw out the outline of the bridge, that might help you a lot too, right? But you'd have to blow it up pretty big. There we go. Just adding some of those darks there just to give it some more texture and playing around with it. It's coming alive. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now I'll have to find out how far down that comes now this time, because I changed it, didn't I? So there is the spot. There is the spot that it ends. That's still good, but the stick is going to be so the measurement should be a little shorter this time. Yeah, we'll just bring it up a little bit. I want to make sure that it matches. So just use the chiseled edge so we can see if we can get some idea of. There we go. So now we can make adjustments if we need to. It's not bad, that's okay. And then we will just, we'll be having some trees and things there, so we'll have the bridge coming down here, coming up. Just to get some idea which way we're going to do it. Yes, this goes over here, so you'll probably have to do that. Good. All right, because this is mainly to do with the bridge. So we want to make sure that that's going to be the main focal point. So we'll fill that in with some more dark color again, some gray, okay? So make some gray and just fill it in. Good. So we have that much done. Yeah, it's not too hard so far. Now it seems that over here we have some trees on top of this part here. Okay, so let's just add a little bit of yellow to our bristle brush and just add a little bit of yellow on top of here just to brighten it up a little bit. We still have that dark underneath, but we'll just scrape it on there so that you can still keep that dark underneath there. Okay, got it? Good. Now, let's get some of this yellow going on here. A tree or, right, there we go. Now, that's nice, isn't it? Good. So just let your brush do the work. There we go. Good. Yeah. Once we get that on, we can always highlight it and do things like that with it, right? Good. And we'll push it in so you open them up nice and wide and get that lighter yellow there. All right, so get your different yellows, and then you can always add more yellows on top of each other, see? Like that. Good. If you don't have a really bright yellow, you can always add a bit of white to your yellow. See? Make sure that the bristles are opened. There we go. It's nice, see that? Good. All right, yellows. Make sure you don't get any blobs. There we go. Just pushing off to the side, very lightly tapping, kind of pushing that way, you know, just to give it a little bit of a difference there and perspective. When that dries, we can always add more highlights, okay? But what we're trying to accomplish right now is get the shapes, get things so that they look like they're in the right place, so that they look, you know, so we have to make sure that everything looks correct. It has to make sense. It has to make you feel good about what you're doing. All right, so that's that one on that side. Pretty. Now while we got our dirty brush, don't wipe it off. Just throw some stuff down here left over, okay? Not very much, just so you can barely see it. I probably got a little bit too much paint on my brush there, but whatever's left over on your brush, just kind of tap that on there like that, okay? Good. Good, 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 good. Now, marvelous. Now same on this side over here, and to the right, we'll get some darker green color, because it's probably a little darker over there, because we're probably going to look for the light. You know, the light's probably coming in from the right, and we can say there's more lightness over here maybe. Let's just tap on some dark green here. Tap, 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 tap. Now, let's put some green. Nice dark green on this side. I'm just adding some blue, a little bit of burnt sienna, and some yellow. And I got that nice spread. And I'm going to add that on top of what we already did. And I'm going to add some yellows on top of that now. So I think what I'll do is clean off my brush. Clean off my brush. Spread it open so I get nice opened up there. And then I'm going to add my yellows to it. So I'm going to add my bright yellows. Just get enough. See how I got it there? It looks a little bit too much there in that corner there. There we go. I took it off there. Now I'm going to add a little bit more. See? All right, and then we are going to tap on a few of these. Isn't that nice? See how nice that is? Then you don't have to do individual little, I mean, you can do this individually with a small round brush, but take you a while to do it, so this is a lot faster. I'll take a little bit of white. I'm going to add some white here just to brighten up a bit. And little bits here, specks of it here and there. There we go. All right. Let's get a little bit of that up here and there. Good. I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna and green and red, yellow together, just to get some color. And then I'm going to add some of that up here, coming down over the bridge a little bit. Now we're not really finished with the bridge, obviously. We want to make some brickwork or whatever there. So I'm just kind of playing around with this first. It's more fun. So I'm just going to tap on like as if the bushes are hanging down over the bridge. Isn't that nice? Maybe there's some over here too. You know? It's nice. And some reflections down here. So we'll probably a little bit of reflections down here. Just whatever's left over on your brush, kind of bring them down here. Tap, tap here, tap, tap there. Right. Want some green down there just to reflect some of these green colors. To get that green color, just you need some yellow and right. Don't need too much. We don't want it to be standing up too much. I'm trying to get more green than that. There we go. Green. There we go. Just reflections in the water. Good. Reflections down here. So got those thick bushes up there. So we keep layering as we go along, right? We just keep layering and adding as we go along. But you see, first when we did it, we're doing it very simplified. But as we go along, then you're basically layering your paints. You know, you're layering it, and that starts to bring it out more. All right. So I just added some green and yellows, but I didn't totally mix it. Dark green and yellows, and on my flat chiseled edge synthetic brush, and I'm gonna kind of, let's see, probably almost in the center here. I'm just gonna make some land coming out here, right? Just and coming down into the water, the reflection part. All right, and we'll fill that in. Just fill it in for now because we need to see what we're going to do with it and where we're going to go with it. So let's just get that started. So that's all you need to do is just try to figure things out, because some pictures are pretty complicated, but you break them down into smaller sections. Break them down into easier ways to do things. Take one thing at a time. That way you won't get too confused, and you're more in control of what's going on instead of sitting there worrying about, oh, that don't look exactly like the picture that I'm following. Don't worry about that. Don't even worry about it. Just put in the shapes first, fill them in, and then you can use the reference photo to help you. Helps you with the shapes, helps you with the composition, yes. But you can also make decisions yourself and change things up. I'm using the chisel edge of my brush just to get some of these on there. There we go. Some land there behind the bridge. It's kind of out further than the reference photo, but like I said, I'm just doing my own thing right now. I mean, I could do a video on how to follow. Well, actually, I did a video on how to follow a reference photo, and it was pretty close to the reference photo. So I kind of did it that way so I could give you more ideas on how to follow a reference photo. Now, so we got a little bit of trees going on there. So let's get our bristle brush back. Anytime you pounce, just remember this, whenever you're ready to pounce, use your bristle. Whenever you're ready to make smooth lines and make smooth, then you use your synthetic. Anything that's soft, but not watercolor brushes, because they just flap around and you can't use them. But synthetic or nylon brushes are pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to punch in some yellows again. And I'm going to punch them in right here. Just putting in a little bit of, maybe there's a tree there. That shouldn't be there because that's in behind. Okay, so just ignore that. Ignore it as best you can, even though it's here in your face. A little tree there, and we'll be putting little branches here in a minute. Okay. And so we will, that's kind of like a reflection down here. Good. Lots done. So we need to add a few more trees up here. We need to thicken up the trees. I think that's what we'll concentrate on right now. It's concentrating on some of the trees. There's some trees popping up here. They must be coming out from, maybe there's trees behind there. Maybe we went over them. So now we have some trees that were behind there, but they're popping out here now, right here, like that. Right? Then there's another one here. And there. Good. A little bit more there, and I'm going to add some burnt sienna. I want to get some contrast in the trees now, because everything needs some contrast now. So we need to add some darks, because we'll thicken it up with some dark colors. Okay, and that will really make it stand out then when we put in our light colors again. So I'm just tapping on a bit of the darker colors, the burnt sienna, a bit of red, a bit of blue, a bit of yellow to turn it a bit green. So just a bit of red, a bit of burnt sienna, a bit of blue, and some yellow. And then we will add some more contrast over here. So when I say we're adding contrast to bring out the lighter colors, that's just a darker colors of browns and greens. Okay, see how that makes it jump out more? You might want some contrast over here. Now there's, probably put some more trees over here. And we can add some contrast in around here, as you can see. So you kind of go in between the colors there. Good. And then we go in here, and here, and here. Just trying to get some to decide where I want. See? Good. Add some more here. And we're going to fill that with some color. And we're going to add some more here, more color. I'll get some contrast in there. Maybe a little bit of contrast here. Contrast or shadows, whatever you want to call them. Just putting them in between what we did already. And then up here we're going to add some more. That's noisy. That's noisy. All right, so now we got some nice contrast going on there. Maybe a little bit down here too. I didn't fill up my brush very much. I just kind of left whatever is left over on it because of this small area. See, it makes things pop. See that? All that contrast makes things pop. And that's what we want. So I'm going to take my chiseled edge synthetic brush now, because I want to work on these here for now. So I'm kind of going back and forth in different places. I get kind of anxious when I see something needs to be done and I want to start working on it. So, like, there's no right or wrong to what you do. And it's fun to go back and forth in different places. Then it's not as boring. You're working on one thing for hours and hours. That's not fun. So just taking the chiseled edge and laying that there like that. See? And as I scribble by, you see there's little bits of paint falling off and going up that way. So that's okay, because it makes it look like there might be some bushes or something there. So on the corner there. Looks like it goes around the corner. And we'll take some burnt sienna, a bit of red, some of the mixed up colors there, and we'll put that on there and add some yellows so that we can use that for different colors. And we'll drag that along here. And where the bridge is ending, we'll put that there. Come to the edge there. I'm using chisel edge of the brush to get that. Kind of scraping it on so that I can get some of that underpainted green there. I'll leave that on. Just trying to see if I can. See, I'm trying to get some colors there, so I'm going to add more yellow this time. Some yellow. So let that yellow fall off. See, so you're separating, you're trying to hang on to some of the underpainting or the undercolors that were there by jumping over. Right, so you go. Looks nice. Now let's do the same on the other side. The other side has some green there, doesn't it? So we'll add some green. So get your green color, whether it's sap green or whatever, and then add a bit of yellow with your green without mixing it, and we will see if we can get that to do something. There we go. There we go. Alright, now we keep going with the yellow. Now, so far so good. There we go. Good. Kind of just putting it on there and moving my hand around to see what results I'm going to get. Sometimes you just have to move your brush around as long as you're going with the shape of what you're doing, okay? Because that's the land, right? So if you were up and down and all over the place, it wouldn't work. It'd be too weird looking. So if you lose some of your green, you can always put some back. as you come down here, you can add a bit of red or whatever colors you want. See. There we go. Now, just kind of get it in there. Nice colors coming along there now, isn't it? See, the more you layer your paint and the more you add to it, it looks so much better. Chisel edge brush is good because you can make those streaks, see? Very good. And this is the reflection. So this is the land, and then under here is reflections, because this is the water now. This is all water. So anything underneath this land part here would be now reflection and water. So we're going to make it look like water now, don't we? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our flat chisel edge brush and we will add, let's see, a bit of white, I think, with the grayish color. I'm not sure, like I'm just trying to, I don't want it to be pure white because it'll just be too much. I just threw in a little bit of that grayish color I had there. And because this is water, we want to make these streaks. Now you can use a palette knife for this. I don't want, let's see, I don't want to, just use a chiseled edge, add some water lines, straight up, yeah, see? Horizontal. So you might need to reload a few times to get that to come off properly. So I'm going to say now, I'm going to darken it up right here, but I'm going to go over this as water. So making those lines, if they're too thick, make sure you try to get your, that's why you're probably better off using a palette knife. I'll show you. Because your brush will give lines too thick. So let's just try a palette knife, even though I didn't mention at the beginning. That's why I say I don't know what I'm going to do from one minute to the next. And that's the way you should be. Now, pick up some of your color, white, maybe a little bit of, try to get a little bit of other color in there just so it won't be too white, okay? So whatever side you're going to lay it down, I'm left-handed, so I'll lay it down like this. But if you're right-handed, you'll be laying it down like this, right? So whatever part you're going to lay down, put the paint on that side, all right? So just put the paint on there, and just going to add some water lines because these are reflections. And they look a lot more like reflections when you add water lines. And see, the water line's so much thinner now, see? Alright, so you might need to pick up more. This will help make it look like it's underwater. If you get too many, we can always go back in and take them out. Add a little bit of blue to that white. I find that white is too white, not too chalky. We don't want that. Just add a little bit of blue to your white. Try to get it more bluish. There we go. A little more dull, right? That way you can't see him as much. So a few water lines, that'll make it look like it's underwater. better. Now with your liner brush, you can take your liner brush and go through your brown, burnt sienna, and blue. Get a really nice dark color for your branches, for your trees here, for your trees. A few branches coming out here. Just put a bunch of them wherever you think they might be. Dip your brush in water. See, it's dripping. Now when you roll in your paint, it won't drip anymore, okay? But it will make it nice and flowy. Is that a word? And it'll flow. See? Now you can put some little ones in and big ones and everywhere. Right? That gives it more of a, all these little things give it more of a realistic look. I'm going to brighten up that back there. So when you're painting, especially by reference photo, you can go wherever you want. And go back and forth and look around and see what, too much water. I'm just putting a few in here. I don't think they're on there, but I'm just going to put a few on there anyway. Yep. Here. More water if you need it. Now there might be some little yellow things going on here on top of the water. Probably some lily pads or something. Just trying to make them yellow so you can see them, but just helps make the reflections look more real. So we'll just do that for now, and I want to fix them up after. So what else we need to do? I need to highlight this a little tiny bit more. There we go. Just add a bit of color on top of color. Nice. Now we're going to use this small flat brush for our brickwork on our bridge. And I'm gonna, like, I'll do the, you know, we're gonna probably lighten up some of these, thicken up some of these trees and lighten them up a little bit. Right now I just want to see if I can come up with some way to make that bridge look really nice. So I do have a lighter color gray. Just all I did was just add my white and mixed in a bit of that grayish color that was left over there. And what am I going to do? Let's see. Let's take that and just touch, bring them pretty close together. Touch. So use the chisel edge of your brush to get that to go together like that. And you're skipping a little bit there, right? And we'll touch. Touch again. Now what I'm going to do is, I'll put a dark color together. You can use black. Just make my own black here. Just making black out of brown and blue and red. Yep. Now that's really dark. That's almost like black, isn't it? Brown, blue, and red. I'll just add little bits of each till I got the color I wanted. And I'm going to go underneath there for shadows. Hopefully bring that out more. And I wipe off my brush. And I'm going to smooth that out more. Try to catch it before it dries. That way you won't have a line. Let's grab at it before it dries. I want to add a little bit in between here where you separate them a little bit. Do that. Okay. Good. What I'll do is I'll put a dark color together. You can use black. Just make my own black here. Just making black out of brown and blue and red. Yep. Now, that's really dark. That's almost like black, isn't it? Brown, blue, and red. I'll just add little bits of each till I got the color I wanted. And I'm going to go underneath there for shadows. Hopefully bring that out more. And I wipe off my brush. And I'm going to smooth that out more. Try to catch it before it dries. That way you won't have a line. Let's grab at it before it dries. Between here where you separate them a little bit. Do that. Okay. Good. And now we will use black again, or whatever color you want, any dark color, anything that's nice and dark. We will add this dark section down here. There we go. If you get too much paint, just wipe it off. Went over my water line, so I may have to put one back there. I'll let you know, you'll have to make adjustments as you go along, okay? Because you're probably going to go over something and touch something that you didn't want to and stuff, so be prepared to have to go back. Like that there, I lost my green, right? So I'll just put some green back there. Right, there's my green. I can add some shadows to that too if I want to. But that's the land, so we don't want to try to separate it, see? Okay, so there's the shadow. And then we got more shadow over here. It's not quite as shadowy as the other side, but And now we will just try to put some reflections down here. All right. Now, up here, I'm gonna make some brickwork. I want to put on, let's see, some different colors. Doesn't matter, it could be brown, blue, and so you have that on one side of your brush and then white on the other. And with the dark side down, we are going to make these little strokes to represent those little bricks. To get more white, and put the dark side down. Just touch and pull, touch and pull. Touch and pull. And make them staggered. Don't make them underneath each other like that. Make them staggered. See, we can add a little bit of blue to that. I find when I add too much color, I can't get that white to stand out. So with the dark color on one side and the white color on the other, then you should be able to get some nice, get some blues coming out there. Now maybe some browns would be nice. This makes it so much easier, just these little long strokes, see that? They're staggered. And they're a bit separated because they're just on top of that brick background there. I got that tree there, so I'm just leaving that there. All right. Need more white. Just put white on the other side. Keep your dark side and then just put the white on the other side. There we go. That's basically all it is. Try and get some brown. Now, you need to put a finishing touch on these things here. You can't have them just stagnate like that. So let's put burnt umber, or I should say burnt sienna, and a bit of brown added into it. So there's more burnt sienna than there is bluish color. So there's more burnt sienna. So it looks more, you can even add a bit of red to it to get it a nice color there. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. You see that? Now, so we can use that for the bases to add darkness to our contrast to our, see? Pull it back a little bit just to give it some shapes. Let your viewers know where it begins and where it ends. See, it looks better, doesn't it? See all those little things? It's a big help. Go. Good. Now the only thing we need to do is probably add something on top of the bridge, people walking or whatever we want to do with it. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to use my liner brush for this. See if I can get something up here to represent something. some people walking or doing something. I'm just using my brown and my blue, or you can use black, okay? Trying to figure out now what I can do here. Let's see. Make a little head. If I fold this up now, that's not going to look very good, is it? If I mess it up, I mess it up. Which I don't want to. Okay. So I'm just drawing it out. Just look at the reference photo and just follow the lines. Looks like somebody in a, I'm going to put some hair in. Make it look like hair is flying. Look at that. Hair is flying back. Maybe there's another one there. You can put people walking if you want. You don't have to have it like this. I'm just trying to use the reference photo to guide me along here. So there's two people driving around their bicycles, or whatever they're doing, having some fun. Maybe this person got a hat on. I don't know. There we go. That's my version. That's my version. Two people up there riding around. And then you got the reflection of these little guys down here. They're way down here. Maybe too dark. Just kind of putting in anything that resembles it a little bit. Then I'm going to just go over it with some water lines so I won't have to worry about, you know, but this looks like little reflections there. That's fine, that's good. The only other thing I think I'd like to do is when I want to fix the trees up a little bit, I want to do a few odds and ends, but I wouldn't mind trying a boat. I like the boat, the idea of a boat. I'll use my liner brush to see if I can draw it out, or maybe I can use the chalk. Maybe I could use the chalk. I can't find it. So, let's see. I don't know, let's see. That way if I can't get it right, I'll just, no, it's too big. That's too big. I don't like that. So let's take that out. Just get a clean brush. Clean it out there. I'm going to try and use my liner brush instead. I'm going to use white paint. And use some brown. Now if you do this, you don't have to do this. I would suggest you probably get a pattern of a boat and transfer it on there, because you can easily mess it up while you're trying to do it freehand. But if you're good at freehand, that's marvelous. But if you're not, I mean, you know, take whatever easy ways it is, okay? Don't say, oh, I can't do it now, so I'm not going to do it. Or because if you love the boat, then put it in. But if you don't feel like you can do it, then don't do it. Right? I'm just chugging along here. And if I don't like it, I can take it out and put the colors back in again, okay? I'm just going to play with it. That's just my dark color, ultramarine blue and brown. Just using my liner brush because it's kind of a small area. It's almost like I want to draw it instead of trying to use a paintbrush to paint it. Okay, it sort of looks like a boat. Just adding some highlight to the edges. White on my dirty brush. Just playing around here, not worried too much. Do it with confidence, knowing that whatever happens, you can change it. You can fix it, okay? Do it with confidence, knowing that, okay, well, if I don't like it, I'll take it out. Okay, so I think it's when you're nervous about it is when you're thinking that you can't fix it and it's going to ruin your painting. Some things can, yes, I'm not going to lie. Some things can really make a mess, but putting a shadow here, that's all. I'll use my flat brush for that. So that's when you get your confidence, is when you know you can change it. But yes, there are some things that you can really make a mess. That's big areas, but anything small like this, you can pretty well fix it up any way you want. Take it out, you can throw flowers and trees around it, or you know, or fade it out, or anything to, right? So that looks all right. I'm going to put, with my liner brush again, I'm going to put, which I almost forgot, a little bit of blue on my white. I don't want too much white there. And I'm going to put a seed over here. And one back here. And I'm going to add a little more white because I thought that it would be too bright, but I think that would be nice. Alrighty then. Cute little boat. And the shadow underneath the boat will really ground it. Nice dark color, nice dark burnt umber and blue. So we got that there. I already have it there, but I just want to make sure I get enough of it there. Shadows really make a difference, see? Just trying to get some contrast here. It's not too bad. Good. Good. What else do I need to do? Just need to fix up some highlight here again. So you can play with this for hours, or you can play with it for days. And you have more fun when you know what to do, you know? Because there's nothing worse than trying to do things. You're like, am I supposed to do this? Does that look okay? I wonder what would happen if I did this or I did that. What you need to know is, this is going to look nice when I do this. So this is going to look nice when I add this shadow. Or this is going to look nice when I add, you know, so you almost need to know what to do. But that only comes with experimenting with colors and confidence, which means you know that you can fix it if you mess it up. All right, that's all. That's all that means. Paint with confidence. There we go. That's a good book title. I wrote a little book. I got it for free. I'll put a link to it. It's free, so I'm writing more books now. I think they'll be fun. Some ebooks there, ebooks. That way I can sell them really cheap, or I can give some away for free, you know. So I want to give back what you guys give to me, you know, people on Patreon or support my channel. So I want to give back as much as I can. So I don't see no reflections under here. I don't know why there's none, but I'm going to leave that because it kind of looks nice anyway, doesn't it? It's pretty, isn't it? I think it's pretty. I don't know. What do you think? So I'm just going to fool around those trees a little bit, and then I'm going to call it finished, I think. Nice. Now I didn't say anything about my chip brush. This is a chip brush. It's pretty messy. But I got them on my Amazon shop. Everything you need, I'll have it in my Amazon shop for you. And this makes fantastic little dots of color. And they're small enough that you don't have to do them individual. And plus they add thickness to your trees. So like here. See? So that helps. Nice, isn't it? So we get some of those in there. I'm just using yellow because we already have colors on there. Just trying to brighten up a few spots. It's kind of nice. Put a few over here. Turn your brush around a little bit. Turn it like horizontal and then vertical, so you get these different kinds of shapes going on there. I'm going to go into my red and brown, and I'm going to add a bit of that up here just to give it some extra. Nice. And probably some weight on top of that to kind of bring it out a little bit. Didn't get enough weight. See, I'm just putting little bits on the tips, see? Just like you did with the other brush. Same as the other brush. You don't have this brush, just use the other one we did. Just add a little bit of extra weight there, just to bring it out a bit, that's all. What else we got there? Let's see. A bit of burnt sienna. Like that here. Burnt sienna with a little bit of white. Maybe a bit of yellow, that might bring it out better. Just gonna lay it on top of what I just did. Just tap it into each other, but don't push too hard or you're going to get blobs. You won't like that. It's really ugly when you get big old blobs. What else do we got? A little bit up here. I like those green ones. I'm not going to touch any of that. I like those. Just a little bit here and there. And more over here. Put some red and yellow. You pick out whatever colors you want, alright? And just tap, tap, tap away. Tap, tap, tap away. A bit of burnt sienna, a bit of yellow. Tapping into what I already have done. Some yellow. See how it just comes alive though? See, that's all I'm doing. Nice bits of red going on there too. That's kind of nice. Take some of that red off though. Oh no. So, get some color going on down here. Not too much. Painting. All you do is tap, tap, tap. Well, not everybody just tap, tap, taps. A lot of people draw and paint. I think this is kind of cute. I don't know. What do you think? That's nice, isn't it? I don't think I have much more to do with that. So that's about it, I think. I'm going to I'm just kind of touching up this a little bit up here, so I'm not sure if I like it or not. So I'm just adding a bit more yellow up here. Just trying to get it look soft and like grass, right? It's a bit better. It's a bit better. I think I'm gonna call it finished. I keep powdering around with it. I'm gonna end up doing some things that I might not be able to get myself out of, you know. So usually if you do this here, you would put a little bit of dark underneath it for a shadow. Do that too. They're not rocks, they're just kind of leaves or there we go. There we go. Oops. There we go. Good. And so I'm putting little shadows underneath those so I can make them stand out more. So then if you lose a little bit, then just add more yellow on top, that's all. There we go. See? You can make them a little bright. That's good. That's good. Almost like little lily pads or something, you know? I keep saying I think. I kind of like to do something with that blue. It's kind of just blue there, just sitting there. I think I might just give it a little whisk of a bit of white, maybe a couple of little soft clouds up in the sky. I don't know, I can't stop playing with it, see? I just love to paint. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put white on my brush with a little tiny bit of blue, and I'm going to clean off my brush, alright, so then I don't have too much on there. I'm just going to drag over a bit of white. Okay, a little bit of yellow for reflections from those trees up there, just a little, right, like that. Maybe a little bit down here. Just give it something, and I'm going to add some white on my brush so I can bring out some more. It's not so blue, right? So maybe I'll just add a little bit of, I'm gonna put something up here just like I'm scrubbing at my brush. So I just put a bit of white paint on there on the corner of my brush, and what I did was I touched and I scrubbed it in. I'm pushing hard, and that way I left the top there, and that way it looks like clouds, see? Right, just clean your brush off on your just clean off your brush, that's all. Make little circles, and oh, that looks like a, there we go, that looks like a spaceship. I'll put a little top on it so it won't look so much like a spaceship. That's all. Just scrub it in. See? A little bit on the corner of your brush. Lay it down. Move your brush around. That's all. Just like you're cleaning your brush off. That's all. Clean your brush off. Clean your brush off. Good. Yeah, I like that better. And I had a little bit of a reflection down here. Let's see. That goes up here, doesn't it? Because it's above that. So that would be down here. Okay, well, we can't get it down there too well. But I still want to put something here. I'm putting paint on, and then I'm just wiping it off, and then I'm putting it on here. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of giving it a little booster shot, I guess I always call it. Just give it a little booster shot. Now, hopefully you can see that. Like I said, down here where they are, I can't get that. I might put a little bit of cloud up there, right on the edge here. There we go. Looks like it was. See, just those little tiny things. I think that's it. What do you think? It's kind of cute, isn't it? It wasn't hard. It's not too hard. I think, you know. Yeah, I think that's okay. If you want to keep working at it or do anything else with it, or you want to add other things to it, go over your trees, you want to add more trees, more light, whatever you want to do, do it. And I'll call mine finished, and then if you have any questions, let me know at the end. And I will, I'll have links to everything that I talked about, the brushes, and my book is free. It's free. Well, thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.